everyone, in this video we'll be writing our first shell script. I'll tell you what a shell script is, and before we do that I just want to talk about a few shortcuts that we can use at this terminal which are really useful. The first one is the double exclamation mark, which just repeats the previous command. So let's say I do lscp. I get these two files which are in this which are inside this cp. So if I hit double exclamation mark here, it gives me the command which it's going to run, and then it runs that command and I get these two files. So this double exclamation is sometimes very useful. The next one is this exclamation and star. This exclamation and star just means that use the arguments from the previous command. So my previous command was lscp. So if I wanted to do something like llcp, I could also do ll and then use exclamation mark and star. And if I hit enter now, it again gives me what command it's going to run. It runs llcp because that's the argument for the previous command, and then it runs the ll and gives me all of these. So these are two shortcuts that I wanted to talk about specifically. There are a few more, but you'll find out about them in due time. So let's just clear this, and one command that I want to show you is the read command. So if I say read name and then I hit enter, it now waits for me to enter something. So here let me just enter Shreyas, and if I hit enter, it comes back to this prompt. Although it has read this name, I can't do anything with it. So we'll be writing our shell scripts where we'll read user inputs and do something with it. So the way to make a shell script is just use, let me just first navigate to the cp directory, and here I'm just going to say touch first script.sh. Remember that all your shell scripts must have the extension sh. So if I do that, it creates my script. And when you hear the word script, it basically means a small program which is meant for one-time use. So these scripts are used for small to medium size things that we want to do, small to medium size projects. And scripts are generally meant for one-time use. So let's just go into this first script, gedit first script.sh. And one thing that I want to point out at this point is if I go back to the terminal now, it's actually blocked. And if I hit Control C, which stands for terminating the process, if I hit Control C, it closes the file that I had open. And another way is if I close this file right here, then it gets me back to my prompt. But I may not want to do this, so the way to do that is just to add an ampersand at the end. And if I do that, now if I go back to my terminal, it now prompts and I can enter commands here. So that's another shortcut that's really useful that I wanted to point out. So when I go into this first script.sh, I can write terminal commands here. So let me just write echo Shreyas, and let me save this. Let's go back here. The way to run this script is to use // and then the name of the script. Of course, if I was in this top directory, which is tilde, my home, I would have to do cp/test .sh, and actually I need to do /cp/test. No, it's not test.sh, it's cp/first sorry about that, first script.sh. and now it says permission denied. Let's just go to this CP and let's just do dot slash first script dot sh, and again it says permission denied. The reason for that is when I do an LL, as you can see for this first script.sh, these permissions here, they mean that the R means for read, the W means for write, and the third one, which is supposed to be an X, means for execute. So that's what I'm allowed to do with a file, and as you can see I don't have the permissions to execute this first script.sh. There's no X here, there are only these dashes. So the way to change that is to use the ch mod command, which stands for the ch stands for change, and here just give it a 777. A 777 just means all permissions, so I'll give those to my first script.sh, and if I hit enter now and I do an ll again, as you can see this time these permissions all have the X here, so I can execute it now. So let me just clear the terminal and then I'll do dot slash first script dot sh, and if I hit enter it executes the command right here, and it echoes Shreyas, and after this echo Shreyas I can also do an ls. Let's just save and let's just run this script again. As you can see it prints Shreyas and then it lists the contents of my present working directory. So remember that whatever you write in a script is basically commands which you can use from a terminal. So it just literally picks up this command, puts it onto a terminal, and whatever the output is, it prints that in case it's supposed to print anything. So that's what shell scripts are for. And at this point let's try doing something interesting with a shell script. I'll just do an echo what's actually, let me just say enter your name, and then I'll do a read name, and the way to access this name variable right here is to use a dollar symbol. So I need to do a dollar name that'll give me access to this name. So let me just echo hi dollar name, so this right here. So let's just save this and let's run this script again. So it says enter your name, I'll enter Shreyas, and when I hit enter it says hi Shreyas, and let's just run this script again. And if I enter my name as something else, let me just enter my name as computer, let's say. So if I hit enter it says hi computer. So that's basic shell scripting for you, and we'll be doing more of shell scripting. There are some really interesting things we can do with shell scripting, and we'll take a look at it next time, so stay tuned for it.